Hey, what's going on, guys? So had to give myself time to kind of marinate on this because the news just dropped now about Cowboy Bebop getting picked up for a show and such. And I was at work at the time when it dropped, and kind of wanted to let it marinate for a bit before I kind of give my thoughts on it and such, because it is kind of something where you don't want to go full tilt and hating. You also don't want to go full tilt praising it, because one of the biggest things about anime adaptations, especially when it comes into like the U.S., is that you know you never you got to be cautious, because more than anything else, when it comes to American adaptations of anime, there's been way more misses than actual hits and such. And I know most people that probably watching this are like, well, "What are you talking about? All of them are garbage." And this is just my opinion, and if you feel differently, feel free to comment below in the video. But I always, being objective, I can name off a handful of anime adaptations that were actually at worst okay. That were actually okay. They weren't horrible. They weren't the greatest, but they were okay. They were competent. They were able to tell the story from beginning to end, no issues and such. We can go if the misses are like a lot. You got your Dragon Ball Evolutions. You got your Ghost in the Shell. You got your Guyver One. You got Kite. You got the live action Blood the Last Vampire that came out. I think I did say Dragon Ball Evolution. And the thing of it is that, like, you got your bad ones that everybody just sees and such. I don't know. I think in the '90s there was a Crying Freeman adaptation, but I never watched it. So there. Oh, the Fist of the North Star live action. That's another one. Infamous and stuff for how horrible it is. So you got those, and then you got your ones from. Then you got your adaptations that are actually pretty good in the aspect of, you can tell that the people behind it were very. They actually knew. They actually had, there was actual heart behind it. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at and stuff. You can tell the people behind it. They really basically had an idea about the property. They knew about the property and stuff, and they really wanted to be good to the property. So you have something like, say, Guyver 2 Dark Hero. I remember I had talked to David Hayter about it, and the people behind that movie, you could tell that they really knew about the property, the Guyver property, a lot, because there was a lot of story elements. A majority of the story elements from Guyver Dark Hero was stuff from the anime, with the Zord Lords, the Zoinoids, the origin of the Guyver units and such. And you had the elements of Guyver Dark Hero was there. Now, the movie had issues in terms of its pacing and such, and it tended to exposition certain story elements, but when you watch the movie, you can tell that there was some heart in it and stuff. And even the fighting was like was top tier stuff. Like it was from the stunt team from Power Rangers and stuff, Koichi Sakamoto and them. So good adaptation. You really walked away from it like, yeah, that was actually pretty good. The Wachowskis, when they did Speed Racer, I know a lot of people, the point of contention with that movie, oh, it wasn't good. I think personally, to me, I thought the Speed Racer was a very good adaptation. Again, you could tell that the Wachowskis really loved that property 100%, and there was a lot of heart in it. They really went full tilt into the property. I mean, shit, they gave us Chim Chim, it's a element of the anime that's just out there when you watch the anime, but it fits. But then to see it in live action, that they actually did show Chim Chim the monkey, and they put it in the movie, and just every element about the movie is just so over the top. But yet, it's Speed Racer. At its heart, the family element of Speed Racer is there. Everybody played their roles just like that. Like, there was heart in there, and you can walk away from Speed Racer like, you know what, that was actually a pretty good watch. You're like, all right. Even the recent Alita Battle Angel that came out, I think that movie was okay. Wasn't the best, but it was okay. But again, the people behind it, you can tell they really wanted to do right by the material. They didn't just want to put some shit out there and just be like, oh, it's a little Battle Angel, if you like the anime. But you could tell there was some heart behind it, and there was effort put behind it, that they really wanted to put their best foot forward into it and such. So, you got those, and you can count Edge of Tomorrow. That's based off of manga and stuff. And you can come out of Edge of Tomorrow like, yo, that was actually a really dope-ass movie and stuff. I love the concept and stuff. I never read the manga that it was based off of, but you can at least come out of that like, okay, that was pretty dope and stuff. So I say all that to say, you know, when also if you counting bad anime adaptations, that fucking Death Note shit on Netflix was fucking horrible for all the reasons and such. And we did a me and Mo from Earth Two Comic Cast. We talked about that fucking anime adaptations because, whew, man, it was issues. But I'm bringing those four good ones to the fore here because you know, they announced they're actually finally greenlighting a Cowboy Bebop TV series. I believe it's getting 10 episodes and such. I believe John Cho is playing Spike Spiegel. Interesting choice. Mustafa Shakur, who played Bushmaster in Luke Cage. He's gonna play Jet Black, which I think that's a pretty good choice too. I believe was it Danielle Pineda. She's the I think she's like the animal lover chick from Jurassic World 2 Lost Kingdom. She's playing Faye Valentine, and I think this guy named Alex Hassel. I've never seen him before, but he's playing Vicious. Now, if you're familiar with Cowboy Bebop and such, again, listen to our podcast. We talked about Cowboy Bebop and stuff, favorite episodes and all that stuff. Cowboy Bebop is a very beloved series, probably one of the best anime series you can probably watch. Like if you've never watched anime, I always recommend Cowboy Bebop because it's a very simple series. It's simple. It's 26 episodes. You can get through it pretty quick. But it's basically the creatives and everybody at the time that Cowboy Bebop was created and done. They were at their peak. Shinichiro Watanabe was at his peak form. Everybody involved was at their peak form. So when they announced this anime, this adaptation and stuff, you know, it's the usual mixed reaction that you get for something like this because you know, again, the history of American adaptations in anime, it's very shaky and such. So, I know for myself, I'm excited and stuff. I'm curious to see where they go with it and stuff. For me, if you're familiar with Cowboy Bebop, the fact that they have Vicious in it, to me, it seems to, at least with 10 episodes, they're probably going to be doing much like the show where you have some focus on Spike's background, which the show did a good job of giving you just enough about his background to where you're not like, oh man, I want to see more, but you knew just enough to know the history between Spike and Vicious and such. And hopefully we get some. Hopefully, I don't know how long they're going to do this and stuff. If it's just a season, 10 episodes, it's kind of pushing it, but we'll see how they go about it. Like I said, I'm curious to see what the look of the show is going to be and everything else. But I'm riding on the line of cautiously optimistic. Like I said, I'm always open to seeing how these shows work out and pan out and such. Because I mean, this is a very beloved series, and a lot of again, some of the bad anime adaptations like Ghost in the Shell, it hurt my soul seeing certain ideas in that movie be there and then just realize that the product was shit at the end of the day. So I'm hoping that this Cowboy Bebop adaptation works out. They got a good cast of actors and actresses here and stuff, so it could work. I believe they got what was it? Chris Yost, he's the writer that did Thor: The Dark World and Thor: Ragnarok and such. So that's a bit promising, so to speak, in terms of the writing. And obviously they got Sunrise's backing, and I believe Shinichiro Watanabe is actually going to be consultant. So that's going to be interesting in how they get a collabo going with him. But yeah, cautiously optimistic, but I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, it's going to be shit and stuff like that. We just got to kind of see how it pans out, you know, as everything goes the way it goes and such. But yeah, just that's my opinion, at least in terms of kind of like the quick history of my thoughts on anime adaptations and on this whole thing and such. But yeah, just feel free to leave your comments if you disagree with me on my staple of anime adaptations and just your thoughts on this as well. So yeah, as with anything else, catch you guys later. Peace.